Trey Gowdy crushes Obama for hiding on luxury vacation. Learn what Obama does not want law enforcement to see. Is it a simple coincidence? Or is it perhaps something a lot more sinister? You be the judge. On Friday, former President Barack Hussein Obama jetted off for yet another luxury vacation, this time coincidentally during the investigation of his former Lawyer General Loretta Lynch, who's being investigated by Congress regarding her mishandling of Hillary Clinton's criminal investigation. Obviously, a former commander-in-chief taking a luxury vacation isn't something new, even if those vacations seem to run non-stop, as in the case of our former jet-setting president, and perhaps his trip to Indonesia is just another coincidence in that the Southeast Asian country doesn't have an extradition agreement with the United States. It was reported that the former president decided to head off to Indonesia almost immediately after discovering that the Senate Intelligence Committee had opened an investigation regarding the entire Lynch debacle, including the yet-to-be-investigated meeting with former President Bill Clinton and the infamous tarmac huddle on Lynch's private jet. Moreover, the person looking into the matter and asking questions regarding the sudden departure of the former president is none other than the pit bull himself, Representative Trey Gowdy, who doesn't think it's all one big coincidence. In fact, Gowdy went on the record stating, "Let me hazard a wild guess, that there may be something else on that server that they didn't want law enforcement to see? That is where you start." I don't like speculating, but I have dealt in the past with victims who would not cooperate with investigations. Typically, the reason is, there is something else you do not want law enforcement to see. Obviously, Gowdy would like to know exactly when Obama plans to come back to the U.S. because he has some rather important questions he'd like to ask him regarding his involvement with this unraveling scandal, and more importantly, how personally involved was the commander-in-chief. Moreover, another former Obama disciple is also finally being investigated. Former National Security Advisor Susan Rice has just agreed to testify before the House Intelligence Committee. The irony is that these potential criminal exploits were actually in the rear-view mirror, and the likelihood of a congressional investigation seemed remote until the former FBI director testified before Congress and referenced his meeting with Lynch, and what seems by any reasonable standard her attempt to manipulate the investigation. Which leaves Gowdy to speculate. It's a little suspicious that Obama is jetting off right as his own advisor is testifying before an intelligence committee. The allegations that the Obama admin, including Rice, was behind the unmasking of individuals during the 2016 election is potentially one of the biggest scandals of Obama's time in office. Do you think either Lynch or Rice will eventually be prosecuted? Tell us in the comment section below if you think former President Obama masterminded the unmasking of Trump's team before he became president.